Hi, I'm Pam, and this is my monthly update video letting you know everything that I was up to and playing in the month of July. Hey everyone, I hope that your summer is going well. Mine has been going pretty well. I've been busy with some things. As far as updates go, there was a new episode of Point and Drink Adventure with Michelle. That was a couple weeks ago. She had been to too many games, so she talks about that a lot. Plus the usual movies and games that we play and watch. We're always watching a ton of movies that we have to talk about. In terms of the channel, I think I only put out 2 videos last month. It was a bit of a slow month. My regular update video, which did do better than normal. I talked a lot about Mina the Hollower, and I made a little short that condensed my Mina thoughts, which made a lot of people very mad that I didn't love it, but not everyone loves every game. Also talked a bit about whatever happened to my most anticipated games from the last and final E3. So if you missed either of those, go check them out. So one of the things I was busy with in July was realizing I no longer wanted Dylan to be my boyfriend.
Oh, that's super aggressive.
It is super aggressive.
And I don't know why this has to be put on video to be like, I'm done with him.
But we got married.
Oh, we did.
We did get married, yeah. Yeah. So I went to Virginia, where Dylan's family is, and we got married there in Chesapeake on July 20th. And it was very nice.
Yes.
And that's why I didn't make any videos. It's his fault.
Oh, it's entirely my fault. I'm sorry, everyone.
Yay! I'd show you my ring, but it's at the jeweler's right now.
Yes.
And I'm very sad.
That sounds like an excuse. Like, oh, I have a girlfriend in Canada kind of excuse. I have a ring. It's in the shop.
I have a ring, I promise. I'm really married.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess.
I have a ring. So
Dylan has a ring.
we go.
There we go.
Yeah. I'm not into video games. I'm just kidding.
I did get a lot of questions about that when I posted on Instagram. My name is also Cannot Be Tamed on Instagram. There's some photos there. I'll probably put some in the video here. But yes, got questions about if he's a gamer.
There. Mm-hmm. Like pictures just all over.
Yeah, probably over here.
Oh, where we're not sitting.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Oh, that's what that big empty space is for. So
yeah.
They can see us here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They can see duplicates of us.
Oh, that would be awesome.
We stream sometimes together. Sometimes Thursdays.
Usually Thursdays.
Yeah.
Usually Thursdays.
But you can check that out.
Yeah.
And now we'll get back onto the games I've been playing.
Oh.
And then he's going to leave.
Oh, yeah. Because I don't play games.
No.
And you're not talking about Gears 5 yet.
No.
Yeah.
As far as the games that I played in July, there was quite a lot of them. The first one I played is something that I streamed over on Twitch. It is called Mission Critical, which is on PC. It is by Legend Entertainment, and it came out in 1995. And this is a game that I had never heard of before until someone made a comment on one of my ranking videos asking about it, and it seemed like an interesting game that combines point-and-click adventure with FMV, as well as some little strategy combat elements. So in Mission Critical, you start out on a spaceship, and Michael Dorn is the captain. However, the spaceship is attacked by the UN in this story. You are playing an American ship, and America, Canada, and Australia have gone against the UN. The UN thinks our technological progress has gone unchecked and is a danger, and we think they're stupid and we should fight them about it. So that's the sort of background of this story. And you play a sort of everyman kind of character. You're just a guy who's on this ship. You wake up, everyone else is gone or dead, and you need to repair the ship as well as find a way to sort of make this war tilt toward your side of things. It's pretty good. I thought that the story was good. A lot of the science-y stuff was really interesting. A lot of the puzzles made sense. One or two didn't, but that's kind of hard to avoid in point-and-click adventure games, especially from that time. But I thought it looked great. It had really good combinations of FMV and rendered backgrounds and pixel art, and I thought just like the presentation and everything was great. There are some combat sort of simulations, not simulations, they're real combat, but that use strategy and you have to like make your drones and ships go places and have little space battles. Those parts weren't my favorite. I tend to just put those on auto, but I really liked the story of the game. I did find at the end it got a little talk heavy, which is the opposite way that I find a lot of adventure games go that I've been playing. I've been playing a lot of things like Harvester or some of the Tex Murphy, and it goes from like really great dialogue and puzzles to just like kind of too actiony at the end, where this one went to just an hour of just dialogue at the end, just talking, just having the story explained to you in terms of what was happening, which wasn't great from a pacing point of view, but overall, I thought the game was pretty good. The next game I played was Rise of the Golden Idol. This is by Color Gray Games. It came out in 2024. I played it on Xbox. It is the follow-up to The Curse of the Golden Idol. And these are deduction games where the first game I think took place in like the 17 or 1800s, and this game takes place in the 70s, which is actually a setting that I enjoyed much more. And it continues the story of this idol and how it causes people to go a little crazy, get a little murdery in terms of trying to get the idol and the power that it gives you. And it is basically a bunch of scenes that you'll get. So you see a scene, maybe there's someone dead on the ground, there's some people, spectators looking on, there's items. So you're basically looking at all these items, and it is filling up a word bank of names, of things, of places. And in order to solve each scene, you need to basically do kind of like a Mad Libs puzzle where you need to say who each character is and then what happened. Like so-and-so stabbed so-and-so with a so-and-so and caused him to fall down the hill, or, you know, just you're putting together this based on what you're observing around you. And just like the first game, I thought it was quite good. I found that most of the scenes and puzzles were good. They made me feel pretty clever. There was the occasional one that made me feel really dumb, and I came across and I was like, I don't know what you want from me. I don't know the answers to anything. But for the most part, it was good. It has the same kind of off-putting art style, but I liked the various scenes and the overall story going on in this one. And if you like those kind of deduction puzzle games, then it's absolutely worth playing. One that we finished on our co-op night is Escape Simulator, and this is by Pine Studio. It came out in 2021, and this is just a series of escape rooms. We played this 4-player co-op. You have a certain number of levels that are all separated into subsections. So like the first one is kind of like an ancient Egypt archaeological one. There's one in an office building. And then later on, there's some extra levels, which are just bigger, sort of single levels. And it's really good. I thought the puzzles were great. There's various types of puzzles, from like mathy things, shape things, figuring out codes, a lot of numbers, making deductions. My one complaint is that in most of the levels, the actual space is so small. Like, you've got 4 characters, which all have, you know, bodies walking around, and you're really squished in there. If they could have just added a little bit more space to walk around, that would be my number one complaint about this game. But I really liked the puzzles, and I actually thought that the sort of extra content at the end were some of the best things. These ones took a little longer, but generally gave you some actual room to move around and let people work on their own things. And yeah, it was just a really fun game to play with 4 players, having everyone use their particular brain powers to solve the puzzles that they were good at. And I really liked it. If you're looking for a good co-op escape room game, I definitely recommend it. And I've heard that there is a sequel now, so I'm hoping that will come out on consoles and we can play that one too. The next game I played is one of my most anticipated games from this year, and that is Zero Parades for Dead Spies by Zom. This just came out this year. It is the follow-up to Disco Elysium. It takes the same form as Disco Elysium. It is sort of a isometric narrative role-playing game. You have various stats that you can add to, and they're not the normal strength, agility, intelligence. They're all a little bit weirder, so you can build your character how you want. You are playing a character named Cascade, who is a spy. You are in a city-state that's sort of being impacted by three various power and belief structures. You've got the communists, and you're working for the communists. You've got the capitalist bankers who have all the money to control things. And then you have the techno-fascists who are using pop culture to try to influence things, and just how this city is in various ways being torn apart by these three factions. And you, Cascade, are a bit of a fuck up, actually a lot of a fuck up, just like you were in Disco Elysium. But whereas in Disco Elysium, your fuck ups mostly impacted your own life, here you are having much more of an impact on other people's lives. And your last mission had gone terribly, and you had basically been fridged, put in office, not allowed to go out into the field on any missions anymore. And you're finally back at it, and you need to put together a crew and also just find out what your actual mission is, because it's not clear until quite a ways into the game. I really like a lot of the mechanics in this game. Each of your stats or attributes has their own kind of voice that talks to you and has a different way of looking at things. There's constantly roll checks being done to see if they can actually see what's going on here or not. The narrator in this game, I love. I think she gives an absolutely amazing performance. It's a lot of fun. It's pretty unhinged in a lot of ways, but I really, really liked listening to her. Most of the rest of the dialogue is also voiced in terms of people that you're going to be coming across. One of the interesting mechanics that they have is you are constantly having to balance your fatigue, your anxiety, and your delirium. And those things can have certain good impacts on things, but then also if you push any of them too far, you get over anxious, over delirious, you will have to take a skill point away from one of your skills, which is really great. I love consequences to your actions, and I think that's a really good one. I really love all of the various ways that you test your skills, the rolls you make, and the way that this game handles failure, again, much like Disco Elysium, is often hilarious, and failures can be just as good, or at least just as impactful in terms of like narrative significance as successes can. When going through this game, I had some terrible outcomes. My crew didn't all make it. The people that I'm trying to help, I'm trying to not be too much of a screw up, but sometimes I just can't help it. And it was really interesting to see the way this story went and how Cascade is having such an impact on the people around her. There are certain like action scenes. There's no real combat in this game, but I like when something important is happening, like someone has a gun, you're maybe getting shot, and it sort of pulls out and gives you different things to do. Like you can assess the situation, you can try to go aggro on them, you can try to run away, and I really like how those are handled, especially at the end of the game. I thought the end of the game was quite spectacular in terms of what you were doing and the outcomes of how everything happened. The thing that I saw in this game, and this is something I came across a few hours in, as you're going through, you talk to people, you see things, and it adds thoughts to your brain, and you can sort of reinforce those thoughts so they become part of your character, and they will usually give you some kind of bonus to something, but if you do anything that goes against those reinforced thoughts, then you will have a negative impact instead. And I came across a thought called single write only, which meant you could not manually save your game and you had to just rely on the autosave. And that is what made me be like, wow, someone made this game just for me. And I understand that'll probably stress out the majority of people, but the fact that you can't save scum, that you can't get a bad outcome and be like, oh, I'll just reload my game and try that again. You're forced to live with your decisions, and I love that so much. I had that thought reinforced for the whole game as long as I had it, and it just made this game that extra bit of special for me. So yeah, I thought that Zero Parades was excellent, wonderful writing, a wonderful narrator, and a story that was pretty bleak and heartbreaking, but also one where I really felt like my character was having an impact on the world and the people around them, and I was having to live with the consequences of my actions. The next game I finished is called Cats Around Us. I think there's a subtitle, Giant Cat or something. It's by Noobzilla from 2024, and this is like a hidden object, find the cats game. You get a screen, you find all the cats, you find some puzzle pieces, you put the puzzle together, and that's it. I bought this. I was like, oh, that looks relaxing, something I can do while listening to an audiobook or something. And I bought it for like $3, and I finished it in 30 minutes, and it was fine. I could have used some more cats to find, but it was fine. Another game I played that I was pretty excited about is The Incident at Galley House, and this is by Evil Trout. It just came out, I think, last month. And this is the follow-up to The Root Trees Are Dead. They were both games that had existed. I think they were browser-based. And then someone came along and was like, let's make a real game out of these with some, voices and art and more things to do. So The Incident at Galley House is another deduction puzzle game, although the mechanics are quite different than they were in Root Trees. And this, you are going to an old house where a number of people had died. And there's this machine in the house which will let you see moments in time in the past. So you've got this interface where you have different time periods, so like 1, 2, 3, 4 on characters. I believe there's 12 characters that are all just numbered at the beginning, and locations as well. So you have to put in a time frame, a location, and then choose the correct characters that were there at that time. So you get some to go on from the beginning. You find little notes around. And when you put in the things, it'll sort of give you an audio and visual representation of what was happening. So you will see and hear the people talking, and you will have to go by what they say to figure out who they are, what their names are. You can put pictures to faces so that you have an idea of what they look like, but you're just listening so that oh, okay, well, these 3 people in the next time frame were all in the living room. So I'm gonna go to living room, these 3 people. And so you're basically just trying to find all of the scenes where everyone is at any point in time and figure out the mystery of why all of these people ended up dead. And I thought this was really clever. I really liked going through this. There was, a little bit of spookiness in that your generator is sometimes turning off and you're trying to figure out what's going on here, because you have all these people in the house. Some are related, some know each other, some don't seem to know each other, but then bodies keep appearing. And it's not just weird that bodies keep appearing, but also every time someone stumbles on a body, they're like, who is this? I don't know who this is, which is strange that no one's freaking out about the fact that a strange body has appeared in their house. But as it keeps happening more and more, people do get more upset. So you're just trying to figure out what exactly is going on. And I had a lot of fun with this. I really liked the deductions. It was good to take little notes, and you can bookmark things certain people say so you can go back to it later. There's a note-taking not app. There's a notebook that you can write in that's within the game itself. And I enjoyed most of the game. I did find when I was getting towards the end, and you can see like, oh, time 4, the only people unaccounted for are these people. So I had an idea of how many scenes I had to find yet left. And then it kind of goes to a whole different time frame with a whole different set of people. And I was like, oh, I kind of just wanted to be able to figure it out with what I had. And I felt like the extra added more game than I wanted it to, kind of like with Root Trees that adds basically a whole secondary game on the end of it, although that one was very optional. You could just beat the first half and say, yep, I figured this out, I'm gonna bail now, whereas in this one, you haven't figured out the whole story if you haven't seen the next set of people and places. So I didn't love that they kind of switched things up on me at the end. I also didn't really find the conclusion and the explanation particularly hit for me, but I did really enjoy like my first 8-ish hours with the game and just figuring out who all these people were and where they were and watching the story play out. And the last thing that I replayed some of Monster Train and Monster Train 2. I was just looking for something that I could kind of play a little bit mindlessly, and I've talked about Monster Train 2 a lot before. It was in my top games of the year from last year. And I went back to Monster Train 1 and realized I didn't actually play that much of it. Like, I hadn't even unlocked all of the clans. So I went back and just unlocked them. It's a good game, but it did definitely remind me of like how much Monster Train 2 just improved on things in terms of art, in terms of sound, in terms of the cards, and just the whole feel of the game just better. Monster Train 1 is good, but like Monster Train 2 is just like excellent. So I spent a number of hours playing both of those games again as well. And then there were a couple games that I tried out and decided they weren't for me, so I retired. The first one is called Best Served Cold, and this is by Rogueside. It's from 2025, and it is a bartending simulator detective visual novel game. It takes place during Prohibition. You are a bartender. A cop, for some reason, taps you to help figure out who did a murder recently. So you need to question all of the people who come into the bar. You need to find out what their favorite drink is, which makes them like you more. Or if you give them more alcohol, it can make them more likely to speak to you. But if you give them too much alcohol, it can make them just go home because they're too drunk. So you're just questioning the people during the day, mixing drinks, and then at night you go home and you've got a cork board where you put clues together and find new avenues of questioning to ask people. And I thought the first case that I did was pretty good. I thought the writing was all right. I enjoyed the puzzle solving, but I found that it got very, very repetitive. Like every time someone came in and wanted a drink, you had the exact same conversation with them. Oh, hi, can I get a drink? What kind of drink do you like? Oh, you better give me something like this. And then you make the drink, and then you give them the drink, and go, oh, wow, thanks for the drink. And then the questions start. And it's just like doing that every single time felt like an incredible waste of time, especially as the game went on more and more. So while at the beginning I thought it was a decent enough game, there was just far too much repetition to want to play through any more of the cases. So after I finished that first introductory case and started the second and realized how much I would be retreading old ground, I decided to put that one down. And the other one that I tried is called Quarantine Zone. It is by Brigada Games, and it just came out this year. And this is, I think it compares itself to Papers, Please, but in a very kind of shallow way. It's a zombie outbreak. You examine all the people coming in to determine if they're infected or not. So as you go, you get more tools to look at. So first you're just kind of looking at them. Do they have bites? Are their eyes red? Do they have scratches on them? And deciding, do I send them to quarantine because you're not sure, or do you send them to where the survivors are, or do you send them to be killed? And then you get like a thermometer so you can check their temperature, or you can scan them to see their heart rate and things like that. So as you go, more and more things keep coming, and then you're also building the base, building up more tents, having to buy medicine, having to produce food to take care of all of these people. And it started okay. Like, again, it's not stressful like Papers, Please. It's all very like, just make sure that you're seeing the right signs of them being a zombie. Even when you're sending people off to be killed, there's not really any emotional component to it. Like, everyone's pretty calm in terms of how they react. My biggest problem with the game is that the controls are absolutely terrible. And this was originally out just on PC, but you can use a controller and now it's on console. You cannot invert your Y-axis. Why would you do that? It's a free-flowing first-person game, and you can invert the Y-axis. When you're in the menus, you have to use the stick like a mouse rather than being able to click through things. Just generally bad controls overall and not enough options for them. There's also some sections where zombies are attacking at night and you're having to like fire at them from a drone, which is also very difficult when you're not allowed to invert your Y-axis. Yeah, I just found it got kind of boring. Like, it didn't seem particularly high stakes. It was just kind of look at people, see if they're bitten, send them on their way. So yeah, I don't know. It wasn't for me. So that is all the games that I was playing in July. Leave me a comment, let me know what you've been playing, if you have any recommendations for me, if you've played any of these games and what you think of them. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. If you want to see more, check out one of my other videos here. I have a Patreon, or you can become a channel member if you want to help support the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.